Good morning, children. Hope you are all safe and healthy at home. So we had the first lesson in the month of April. Now we start with the second lesson, that is animals, habitats and adaptation. Now if you look into the picture, children, Akira, the polar bear, is lost. Try to guide her correctly to her home by ticking at the correct picture. Now where does polar bear lives? You know, it lives in polar region. So please put a tick over there, polar region. Now what is the meaning of habitat, children? And it's an area or a place where a particular animal naturally lives. And habitat provides air, water, food and shelter, children. For example, like fish, it lives in water. A camel lives in a desert. So a habitat is a natural home where an animal lives. Okay. Now there are 5 different kinds of habitats, children. 5 habitats. The first one is forest. Second one is desert. Third one is mountains and polar regions. Mountains and polar regions. Then we have fourth one, that is oceans. In oceans we have 2 divisions. One is salty water bodies and the second one is fresh water. Okay. Now in forest, we know the animals that live in forest. They are lions, tigers, they all live in dens. Bees, butterflies, they form the floor of the forest. Then we have got birds, monkeys, squirrels, they live on the trees. Earthworms and rabbits, they live in the burrows. Okay, so these are the animals which live in forest. Then the second one is desert. The desert is a place where it is a dry area with less amount of rain, or it can be called as scanty rainfall. Now in the desert, during night time it is totally cold, and in the daytime it is very, very hot. Desert animals like camels, desert rats, snakes, they all live in desert habitat. Then the next one is mountains and polar regions. High mountains and polar regions are covered with snow almost throughout the year. Strong chilly winds blow constantly throughout the year. Animals such as yaks generally live on mountains and polar bears live in polar regions. Then the next we have oceans, children. In oceans we have got salty water bodies, fresh water, salty water bodies, and in this a wide variety of animals such as crabs, fish, seals, whales and jellyfish live in it. And in fresh water, rivers, water and ponds constitute it, children. Apart from different varieties of fish, animals such as hippopotamus and alligators are also found in freshwater habitats. Okay, I hope you understood. So once again I repeat, habitat is a natural home where a bird or an animal lives. It provides air, food, water and shelter, and there are 5 types of habitats, and they are forest, desert, mountains and polar regions, and the fourth one is oceans. I hope it's clear to you now. Now the next terminology under this chapter is adaptation. Understood, children? Now what is an adaptation? Adaptation is a salient feature with which an animal are able to survive in that particular region, and they have got some specialities in their bodies. Okay, maybe their organs or movement or breathing habits, all the. So when they are adapted, they are very much ready to live in that particular habitat. Okay, so any change in the features or behavior of a species that helps it to survive in its habitat is called adaptation. Animals have features or adaptation suited to the habitat they live in. Now, these adaptations can be in their movement. They are divided into few areas, children. So the first one is movement. Second one is they have, children, breathing organs. Breathing organs. Then third one, they have body coverings. And the last one is eating habits. Okay, so adaptations can be in their movement, breathing organs, body coverings, and eating habits, children. Now we'll go one by one. The first one is movements. Okay, now under movements we have got limbs or legs. Limbs or legs. This we can see animals such as horses, cats and dogs, they use 4 legs. The front 2 legs are called the forelimbs and the back 2 legs are called the hind limbs, and they use these limbs for movement and walking on the ground. Okay, then the second one is fins. Fins. Fishes have this adaptation, children. They use these fins to swim in water. Then third one is webbed feet. This frogs specially use webbed feet to swim in water, children. Then we have wings. Fourth one, wings. Now, birds are the only ones which are flying in the air. So, their forelimbs are modified into wings. And you know, birds are having hollow bones which make their body light, with which they are helping them to fly in the air. Most insects like bees, butterfly, housefly, they also move with the help of wings. Then the last one under this category is scales. Now snakes, they do not have legs, children. Okay, so how do they move? They move with the help of scales. They crawl on the ground. I hope it's clear, children. I repeat again, adaptation for movement. Under this we have got 5 movement organs or locomotion. The first one is limbs or legs, which are used by horses, cows and tigers. Fins is used by fish. Webbed feet, frogs use webbed feet to swim in water. Then wings, birds have wings. The 4 limbs are modified into wings, children. And scales, snakes do not have legs, so they move with the help of scales. I hope it's clear. So that was the first category, children. Now we come under second one. Second one is for breathing, children. Adaptation for breathing. Under this also, and different animals have got different way, children. Okay. So breathing, first one, nose and legs. We all breathe. What do we breathe? We all breathe air, children. So all animals breathe in to survive in this world. Now first one is nose and lungs. Okay, this is used by human beings and elephants, tigers, horses and all, children. They have nose and lungs which help them to in breathing. Second one is gills. Again, the fishes use gills to breathe in water, children. Then the third one, skin. Animals like frog, children, and earthworm, they breathe through their moist skin, and when they are on the land, they breathe through lungs, especially frogs. Then the last one, we have spiracles. Okay, animals like insects such as cockroaches and grasshoppers breathe through tiny holes which is present on the sides of their body, and they are called spiracles. Okay, so these are the 4 categories under adaptation for breathing. The first one is nose and legs. Human beings and sheep, cow, lion, they all use lungs to breathe on land. Then gills, fishes use gills to breathe in water. Skin, frogs, They use moist skin when they are, they use moist skin, children. And frogs have lungs when they breathe on land. And the last one is spiracles, insects such as cockroaches and grasshopper. They have tiny holes they present on their body, which helps them to breathe through their spiracles. Okay, I hope it's clear to you. Now the third, we move down, adaptation for body covering. Third one is body covering, children. Under this also, children, we have got 3-4 categories. The first one is scales. Okay. Now, in scales, we have got fishes, crocodiles, snakes. They have body covered with the scales. Now, the scales also helps them in some purpose. For example, like they prevent loss of water, then they provide protection and harsh climate, and they also make them escape from their enemies. I hope it's clear to you, children. Then the second one is shells, children. Shells, we have in this snails, tortoise and turtles have shells to protect them from their enemies. Feathers, in feathers, children, we have got birds have bodies covered with feathers. They keep them warm also, and they help them also to fly. Then the fourth one is hair and fur. Hair and fur. In this, children, sheep and bears, they have got hair and thick fur, which help their body to keep themselves warm from the harsh weather. Then we have a terminology which is called as, children, camouflage. Now what's camouflage? Camouflage, animals like chameleon and grasshopper, they have the tendency to merge with the surroundings. So that helps them to hide from their enemies, and they themselves are protected. So this phenomenon is called as camouflage. Okay, so it's a process, children, or you can call it as a phenomenon. Camouflage. That is the tendency of merging with the surroundings. Merging with the surroundings. Okay. And the last one is thick skin. Thick skin. Okay. So many desert animals like camel and have thick skins to avoid loss of water from sweating. So this was about adaptation for body coverings. We have got 5 categories under it, children. First, scales, then shells, feathers, hair and fur. Camouflage, I told you, it is the phenomenon of merging with the surroundings to protect themselves from their enemies. And the last is by thick skin. I hope it's clear to you, children. Now we go to the next one, that is eating habits, the fourth one. Eating habits. Now you know, children, that the animals are divided according to their habitats, eating habits into 3 classes. Okay, like this, we have the herbivorous, carnivorous, and the last one is omnivorous. Okay, now what is herbivorous? Herbivorous are animals, those who eat plants. Those who eat plants only. Example, cow, sheep, and all. Okay, now they have got some specialities to eat the grass. What are the specialities, children? Such as herbivorous, such as cows, goats, and sheep, have a tough pad of gum instead of teeth in the upper jaw. They have sharp front teeth in the lower jaw to cut grass or leaves. They have large, flat back teeth to grind the food. Rodents like rats and squirrels, they know their food. Hope it's clear to you. Then second one, that is carnivorous. These are the animals that eat flesh only. Okay. Examples are lion, tiger, etc. You must have seen in the TVs and all, no? The tigers, they are always, when their face are shown, you can see two canine teeth protruding outside their mouth, isn't it? So why is it used, children? It is used for tearing the flesh of the prey, children. Okay, so carnivorous, they are flesh-eating animals such as lions, wolves, and lizard. They have got sharp, pointed front teeth to tear their food and strong teeth at the back to crush flesh and bones. And the last is omnivorous. These are the categories in which human beings, bear and crow, eat both, children. That is plant as well as flesh. Okay, the example is human beings and bear. These two categories eat both, children, plants as well as flesh. So, animals that eat both plants as well as the flesh of such as bears and human beings have well-developed teeth to eat both plants as well as flesh. Crows have strong beaks to eat a variety of foods. I hope it's clear till here, children. So, shall we have a recap of this once again? Okay, so once again we start. Again, we'll just have a recap, children. So, we learned today habitat. What is an habitat? An habitat is a place where an animal or a bird naturally live. Okay, and what does it provide to them? Air, water, food, and shelter. And I told you they are of 5 kinds. We learned first one was forest, second was desert, third was mountain regions and polar areas, fourth was oceans. Now, does forest, I told you what are the animals living there? Like birds, they are on the trees. Then earthworms and all, they are under the ground or in the burrows. Then in desert we saw it's a dry area with less amount of rain or no rain at all. Then it is hot during the daytime, cold during the night time. And desert rats, camels, snakes, they all live in desert. Then the third one was mountains and polar regions. And mountains, it is, children, it is snowy throughout the year. And very strong chilly winds blow there. And animals like yak generally live in mountains and polar bears live in polar regions. Then the next was oceans. Okay, oceans is a large salty water habitats in which we have animals, fishes, jellyfish, octopus, they all live in oceans. Freshwater, children, we have rivers, lakes and ponds. Okay, in this we have all the fishes also, plus we have got alligator and hippopotamus which live here. I hope it's clear to you. Then we came to the new heading, that was adaptation. Now, what is adaptation? Any change in the features or behavior of a species that helps it to survive in that particular habitat is called adaptation. And they have got their own modified organs in their body. And adaptation can be for movement, for breathing, for body covering, and for eating habits. Okay, under movement we studied limbs, fins, webbed feet, wings and scales. Under breathing we learned, children, nose and lungs, gills, moist skin and spiracles. Then adaptation of body coverings, we learned shells, feathers, then hair and fur, thick skin, and we also learned a new word, that is camouflage. Then the last one was adaptation for eating habits. Under that also we classified 3, that was herbivorous, omnivorous and carnivorous. Herbivorous are plant eating animals like cow, sheep. Omnivorous are animals like lion and tiger which eat flesh, and carnivorous are those animals which eat flesh, children, and in that we had animals like lion and tiger, and omnivorous are animals which eat plant and flesh, children. Okay, so this much is clear to you, I hope. I'll continue with the video in the next class, children. Okay? Shall we have that exercise also, children? 203. We can find this animal in the cold high mountains. Please mark C there, that is yak. This is true of polar regions. The answer will be A and B, that is strong chilly winds blow covered with snow all the time. Then we have on page number 204, write true or false. Forest is a small area of dense growth of plants. False. Birds and monkeys mostly live on the forest floor. False. Seals, octopus and jellyfish are found in saltwater habitats. True. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.